So all of a sudden, my two worlds I was able to bring together so that I could do exactly what I wanted to do. Now I can physically show people, this is what your lifestyle is doing to how you function on the inside. Hi everyone, I'm Dawn, and I provide one-stop training and support through personalized fitness and wellness plans. How did I come up with Fitlosophy? Where did I start? It started actually with my daughter back in 2011. She got really ill, hair started falling out, skin started getting really itchy, she started losing a lot of weight. And as a mother, I got very concerned as to what was going on with her. Took her to her regular pediatrician and ran some tests. I had figured out enough at this point from kind of dealing with my own issues that what tests we might need to run. So he ran those for me. And then when they came back, he just looked at me and he goes, she just needs some extra B vitamins, maybe change your shampoo. And as a mother, and as any parent, in your gut, usually there's something telling you that there's something wrong. And so I started looking for other answers because I wasn't going to change her shampoo as a reason why she was losing weight. So I found another friend of mine who's a doctor, is a client at the time, and he looked at her labs and went, she needs to see me immediately. He was an integrative physician, and he figured out that her adrenals were crashing. And that's the cause of everything that was going on. And I don't blame her pediatrician because he was a good man. He's still a great pediatrician. Means well. I think all doctors really do mean well, but he did not have the training to understand what was happening with her. And this doctor did. It was a matter of just finding the right person. And so then we went through a lot of functional medicine. This was my first introduction to functional medicine and understanding that they're looking for the root cause and we're not treating the symptom anymore. We're treating what's actually going on. We did a lot of, at the time, unusual treatments, things that are becoming more mainstream now. Functional medicine always seems to be at the forefront of what's happening, and then Western medicine figures it out about 20 years later, it seems like. So that was when I first started dipping my toe into the water of this. There's something going wrong with a lot of people because I just started noticing it around me. Like once you start seeing something, you can't stop seeing it. Just like you can't stop knowing something once you know it. And so once we started getting her a little better and more on her feet and thriving, my father started having a lot of issues. And all the doctors around here, and we have great doctors in Nashville, were just saying, well, you're just old. You're just getting old. It's something you have to do with aging. Well, he had tremors, but none of the doctors around here were calling it Parkinson's, or they were like, yep, nope, that's not what you have. We don't know why you're shaking uncontrollably. Then he started having a difficulty breathing. They ran some tests, like, we don't know why you're not being able to breathe and shaking, and his quality of life was falling apart. And so I took him to Cleveland Clinic. We spent a week there running every single test. And for all the doctors at Cleveland Clinic, they all just said, yeah, we don't know. We have no idea what's going on. So once again, I started leaning into functional medicine, which my father called voodoo medicine. And he was very reluctant to try the things that I was figuring out on my own and talking to my other functional medicine practitioners. I leaned hard into the people who helped me figure out what was going on with my daughter to help me figure out what was going on with my father. We never did figure out what caused the tremors, but we were able to fix a lot of his quality of life issues through lifestyle changes. He started eating better. He started trying to get outside more. So all those lifestyle things that you hear about that work really do work, and they really are the basics. And so his quality of life greatly improved. Then when all that happened, I met my mentor. I started in Pilates, and I was having back pain, and walked into the class, and she announced to everyone, she's like, if you have scoliosis, these are the modifications that you should make. And I'm looking around, like, who has scoliosis? Oh, didn't see anybody. So I'm doing the exercises, I'm going through class, and she's still yelling out the scoliosis modifications. Left class, felt great, woke up the next day, my back was killing me. I went to her the next week. I said, hey, I was like, can you explain to me why my back is hurting so bad? And she's like, well, you have scoliosis and you didn't do any of the modifications. And I looked at her, like, I don't have scoliosis. What are you talking about? She marches me in and she's like, look, your head tilts this way and this shoulder's high and this hip's high. I was like, oh my God, I look like Quasimodo. And so it was like this huge revelation. I was 32 years old at that point in time. No doctor had ever told me that I had scoliosis. Not my pediatrician, not when I threw my back out a few years prior. No one, even the chiropractor didn't tell me. He told me I had one leg too long and that's why my back hurt. So through Pilates, I figured out how to strengthen the muscles that help support my core and help support my spine. And I learned how to be more flexible in a controlled way, not a hyper flexible way. And my back pain went away. And so I was like, all right, I have this knowledge about how movement can heal you. Joseph Pilates always said that change happens through movement and movement heals. And after doing Pilates and my back not hurting, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on board. And then learning about functional medicine with my father and my daughter, it all just started kind of coming together in my head. It was like, what if I could help people feel better through movement and proper exercise and help them feel better through functional medicine or lifestyle changes? So I started searching, like, how do I do this? I found Vanderbilt's health coaching certification program. And so I jumped right in, became nationally board certified health coach, and started really working with my clients on lifestyle changes and those types of things that I was, staying in my lane. That's what I could do. I could do lifestyle changes. I'm a certified Pilates teacher. I can do that. And I was having really great results. My clients were feeling better. They had more energy. But then we would get to a certain point and they're like, but why? Why do I have to do this? Because change is hard. And if you were used to staying up late and waking up late, it's hard to realize that you need to go to bed earlier and wake up earlier and live with the sun. And they wanted to know why. What lab shows me that my circadian rhythm is off? Well, I couldn't do that. Wasn't able to do that. So then I started looking again. Okay, what certification can I get? What can I do? And that's how I found functional diagnostic nutrition. And we work with a doctor. We have a medical director program, and it allows me access to over 100 different functional medicine labs. So all of a sudden, my two worlds I was able to bring together so that I can do exactly what I wanted to do. So now I can test to see, is your circadian rhythm off? Is your cortisol level too high? So are you having too much stress in your life? Now I can physically show people, this is what your lifestyle is doing to how you function on the inside. And I can also test for mineral deficiencies. I can test for heavy metals. I can test for microbiome issues. Is your stomach upset because we got some problems there? I test for food sensitivities. It's just a little bit of what I can do now to bring the two worlds together. So then once I'd done that, all of a sudden I stumbled across something called functional patterns. And to me, when I first started learning about it and doing it, it was like someone had taken Pilates, which is done usually lying down or on a machine lying down. You're not up very much in Pilates. So all of a sudden they had taken Pilates and they'd stood it up and they'd made it dynamic. And I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And it talks about the first 4 movements of humans, what changes us from the animals. We stand, we walk, we run, and we throw, all up on 2 feet. And it is all about training around those principles. So it looks at posture. It looks at how you are moving through space. What makes you human? Are you doing that movement the way your body needs you to do that movement? Or do you have a dysfunction? So for me, it's scoliosis. Yes, I'm out of pain, but my bones are still a little lopsided. So when I work out, I have to think about what my body needs and how I need to move it into place to do the exercise so that I don't make it worse, and doing an exercise that is proper for my body. Because at one point I got into weightlifting. I was like, I really want to build up my muscle mass because Pilates doesn't give you big muscle mass. So I did that. I'm very competitive. And so I would try to keep up with the people who were 30 years younger than me. And a lot of my friends did too. And I got hurt. So even though I knew how to move my body, I was doing an exercise that was not compatible with my personal frame. And so I ended up having 2 surgeries because of it. I had a rotator cuff surgery and I had a hernia surgery. And so now I don't do that anymore. And I learned through functional patterns how to change the way I move. And I can still get stronger. It's not like I have left weightlifting. It's a different kind of weightlifting. So I'm still building muscle mass, still getting my cardio, doing these exercises, but it's making my body stronger and a better functioning human. So when you round out the whole concept of Fitlosophy, I help people move better from the outside in, and I fix what's going on the inside. So we work inside out and outside in at the same time, so that you have a complete package of health and functional wellness. Your Fitlosophy is determined through functional lab testing to help rebuild yourself healthier and stronger from the inside out.